Welcome to the 9th video in our virtual grant round series here at Teachers College, Columbia University. In this video we focus on the importance of avoiding discrimination of our diverse clients, such as those who are LGBT and MSM, by using protocol checklists.
It is especially important to make sure that we deliver care to LGBT and MSM patients that is free of discrimination. So, we are going to repeat and elaborate on some vital information that will assist us in avoiding discrimination in service delivery.
And, we are going to discuss the role of using checklists to make sure you follow every step in a standard protocol. The use of a checklist can ensure that you adhere to the evidence-based standard or care, or adhere to the standard protocol.
Research shows that when doctors in intensive care units follow checklists, making sure they adhere to every step on the list, and check items off once they are performed, then, rates of infection go down.
This has included nurses having the right to stop a procedure when they perceive a medical doctor as having missed an important step.
As a quality control measure, the use of a checklist improves treatment service delivery.
In a similar manner, as varied healthcare providers, there are standard protocols for what we should do when we are with patients.
It is very important that we follow every step in our standard protocols, adhering to guidelines for what we should do with patients.
Sometimes, when we see a patient who is diverse or different, such as an LGBT or MSM patient, there is a tendency to think of a stereotype. It may be a negative stereotype that leads to certain assumptions.
That stereotype and related assumptions might lead us to deviate from the standard protocol. There may be something on that checklist that we skip, or forget to perform, or the stereotype in our minds makes us overlook some procedures. We might think that the patient is a drug user, and therefore a liar, as we stereotype and stigmatize them.
We proceed on the basis of the stereotype in our head, instead of following every step of the standard protocol. We do not adhere to the evidence-based approach that is standard.
The result may be discrimination in service delivery.
The assumptions and stereotypes that come to mind when a healthcare provider sees a patient that is different or diverse, like a member of the LGBT or MSM patient population, may even be unconscious or out of awareness.
Sometimes, we experience conditioned or learned thoughts, like stereotypes, that start to dominate our thinking.
These learned thoughts or stereotypes can make a person biased or prejudiced, and lead to acts of discrimination, even if the discrimination is not intentional. Yet, the discrimination can still happen.
Again, discrimination can happen when a standard protocol for delivering treatment is not followed. The LGBT or MSM patient ends up not receiving the prevailing standard of care. They suffer from discrimination in service delivery. So, what are some solutions?
The use of checklist by a team can be one solution. Other members of the team can be objective observers.
It is great if team members have the power to stop the team from proceeding if an item has not been checked off the list, if there has been some deviation from the standard protocol.
This can both ensure quality control in healthcare service delivery, and prevent the discrimination, often suffered by members of groups who are readily, negatively stereotyped.
It is great if our other team members can observe us and then stop us when some stereotype may have popped into our head and distracted us. It is great when some observant team member can help get us back on track when that stereotype has made us deviate from the standard protocol.
However, we also have to learn how to observe ourselves. The cognitive behavioral psychologists talk about us learning to self-monitor. We have to observe what we are doing and self-monitor our cognitions and our behaviors.
We have to learn to self-monitor our thoughts and our behaviors.
The psychoanalytic and psychodynamic practitioners talk about us developing a self-observing ego. We have to learn to observe what we are thinking and feeling.
Regardless of the approach or explanation, the goal is for all of us to learn what we are thinking and feeling and doing.
We have to learn to observe our own thoughts and responses, such as when we experience negative stereotypes that pop into our head.
We have to learn how to take responsibility for our own learning in a society that has taught us to have biases, or to make negative assumptions about members of certain groups, or has taught us to think in terms of negative stereotypes.
We also have to take responsibility for being able to observe when we suddenly have a strong negative feeling toward someone, or some stereotype just pops into our heads.
We have to be able to recognize that it is a stereotype, and to stop the thought, because we are self-monitoring, or because we have developed a self-observing ego.
We can even have empathy for ourselves and for others who have been socially conditioned or brainwashed into having these negative stereotypes we were all taught to think.
We have to literally learn to catch ourselves in the act of thinking in a negative or stereotypical manner about a patient who is a member of the LGBT or MSM community. We have to learn to stop ourselves from making negative assumptions.
We have to stop those kinds of thoughts and consciously replace them with new thoughts. We can direct ourselves to think the following: I am open to learning about the person sitting in front of me.
Or, we can direct ourselves to think, I am going to ignore that thought and proceed to follow my checklist. I am going to ignore that thought and follow the standard protocol. I am going to adhere to the evidence-based approach.
Or, another recommended thought is this: I am adhering to the standard protocol for treating patients. And, by following my checklist, I will ensure that no errors are made that might reflect my unconsciously or unwitting viewing a patient in a negative or stereotypical manner.
We are actually describing and recommending 3 practical steps in this process of learning to acquire adaptive affective, behavioral, and cognitive coping responses to the
diverse and different. First, learn to observe oneself in the act of deploying maladaptive responses.
Second, proceed to stop or interrupt these maladaptive responses, perhaps literally stating the word stop. Say silently within, stop. Or say, I delete that response. To use computer language.
Third, strive to get the point where you can observe yourself having been triggered by the presence and stimuli of someone who is diverse and different. Realize that you have been triggered, and that you are at the point where you would normally execute the maladaptive response. And, prevent yourself from executing that response. You can repeat I delete that response.
Third, in both of the above situations, actively replace the maladaptive response with a recommended adaptive response. For example, direct yourself to respond with acceptance, respect, and empathy. You could state to yourself, remember who you are. You are a provider who adaptively responds to diverse and different patients with acceptance, respect, and empathy. That is who you are.
Or, remind yourself that you are supposed to be thinking about adhering to your checklist. You could state to yourself, remember you are a provider who adheres to standard protocols with all patients. So, go through your checklist. Do this repeatedly over time so that your adaptive responses become deeply ingrained.
So, if providers follow standard protocols, and even create and closely follow checklists that codify that protocol or codify an evidence-based approach, then this may decrease chances that patients who are LGBT and MSM might suffer discrimination.
Checklists may reduce the chances of LGBT and MSM patients feeling stigmatized by negative stereotypes, or even feeling rejected because of how they were not treated well by providers.
Some patients have not returned to treatment for follow-up visits, or to receive test results, or for recommended procedures because they felt discriminated against, or stigmatized, or rejected.
For some LGBT and MSM patients, interacting with healthcare providers has meant having a bad feeling. This is a feeling that patients would prefer not feeling again, so they do not return. They avoid that healthcare provider and that healthcare setting. They avoid bad vibes.
The goal is to replace some LGBT and MSM patients' past experiences of discrimination, stigmatization, and rejection with something new, receiving treatment consistent with providers adhering to standard protocols, receiving the very best possible care.
And, as we learned in the prior video, treatment should also be delivered so that the patient feels acceptance, respect, and empathy coming from the healthcare provider.
In sum, we recommend that healthcare providers create and follow checklists that codify standard protocols and evidence-based approaches, in order to prevent discrimination in service delivery.